and welcome back to another weekend review on the Football Zone. It was another chaotic weekend as the season draws towards the close, so without further ado, let's get straight into it. We started off in the Premier League at Carrow Road for Norwich v Brighton. Norwich simply had to win this for any chance of survival, however they didn't. They went down to a 25th minute goal from Trossard, which means they're now 7 points off the relegation safe zone, and Brighton 36 at 9 points clear of the relegation zone, so they're safe and Norwich are down. The King Power, it was Leicester 3, Crystal Palace 0. Kelechi Iheanacho opened the scoring in the 49th minute, and then Jamie Vardy scored after he missed a sitter just moments later in the 77th minute, and he rounded it off in the 94th minute. This moves Leicester into third in the table and still 3 points above Man United. Crystal Palace 14th, and they're comfortable mid-table really. Out next at Old Trafford, an eventful game between Man United and Bournemouth. Bournemouth took the lead in the 15th minute for a howitzer by Junior Stanislas before Mason Greenwood, Rashford and Martial put Man United 3-1 up. Josh King pulled one back from the penalty spot, but then Greenwood again and Fernandes saw the game out of sight. Man United still 5th, 3 points off a 2 points off Champions League spot and 3 points off Leicester. Bournemouth still 1 point adrift. A great result for Arsenal at Molineux next, a 2-0 away victory. Bakayoko Saka scored his first Premier League goal in a great strike just before half-time, and Alexander Lacazette finished it off in the 86th minute. This is a big loss for Wolves and means they're 5 points off Champions League place, with Arsenal now just 3 points behind them. Next up, at Stamford Bridge, the final game on Saturday, Chelsea 3, Watford 0. A comfortable home victory for the home side. Olivier Giroud opened the score in the 28th minute, William from the penalty spot in the 43rd, and Barkley finished it off in stoppage time. Watford stay 1 point above the relegation zone, and Chelsea stay 2 points inside the Champions League zone. However, they do have Man United hunting them down. First game on Sunday was Burnley v Sheffield United, and a big game for the battle for Europe. James Tarkowski opened the scoring in the 43rd minute before John Egan's first Premier League goal from close range cancelled it out. This means Sheffield United just 2 points ahead of Burnley in 8th, 1 point off a Europa League spot, Burnley 3 off a Europa League spot. In James's Park, could West Ham continue their form from a big win at Chelsea over the week with a win at Newcastle? They couldn't, although they did take the lead twice through Mikel Antonio and Thomas Souček. However, these goals were cancelled out by Almiron again. Don't know what's going on. And John Joe Shelvey. This leaves West Ham 4 points above the relegation zone, and I think they're pretty much safe now. Newcastle in 12th in no man's land in mid-table. Next up at Anfield, it finished Liverpool 2, Villa 0. To be honest, Liverpool don't look on the place really, and I thought Villa actually had an opportunity here to pick up a big win. However, it wasn't to be. 2 late goals, or pretty late goals, from Sadio Mane and Curtis Jones sealed a win for the champions. This leaves Villa still 1 point above the relegation zone in 18th. Next up at St Mary's, the final game on Sunday, it finished Southampton 1, Man City 0. Yes, you heard that right. Che Adams scored from pretty much the halfway line as he spotted Edison off his line, and wow, what a way to get your first Premier League goal. McCarthy had a blinder and Man City couldn't find a way through. This lifts Southampton to 13th, Man City staying second. Not really much change to the table, but a very surprising result here. The final game on the weekend was Tottenham 1, Everton 0. The only goal coming through Michael Keane in the first half, an own goal after Gio Lo Celso's shot was deflected. Fairly low-key game. Everton didn't really offer anything, and it was a disappointing performance by them. This win lifts Tottenham into 8th, just 1 point off Arsenal in 7th, and Everton in 11th. They've got nothing really to play for, and their season is just petering out really. First game in the EFL this weekend finished Charlton 0, Millwall 1, a fairly poor quality affair before Jake Cooper scored from close range in the 81st minute. Vic to keep alive Millwall's slim hope of the playoffs, 5 points off it with 5 games to go. Charlton only 2 points above the relegation zone, and a win here would have pretty much seen them safe, but it wasn't to be. In the West Midlands derby, Derby 1, Forest 1. Joe Lolly opened the scoring for Forest in the 12th minute, and everyone would have said the game was over in the 94th minute when Martin Waghorn was sent off. However, it wasn't to be, as Chris Martin in the 97th minute got on the end of a spilt ball by Bryce Samba to level it up. Forest 5th and 7 points ahead of Derby in 7th, and Derby now just 3 points off the playoffs. Ewood's Park, Leeds took a huge step towards automatic promotion when it finished Blackburn 1, Leeds 3. Patrick Bamford and Calvin Phillips put Leeds 2-0 up in the first half before Adam Armstrong pulled one back in the 48th minute. However, it was soon cancelled out by Mateusz Klich. This leaves Leeds 6 points ahead of Brentford and 1 point ahead of West Brom. Blackburn in 11th now and 8 points off the playoffs, so that's very, very unlikely to happen. At Griffin Park, Brentford continued their roll on their push for promotion with a hat-trick from Saeed Benrahma, and Wigan's day was made even worse and their week made even tougher through a Joe Garner red card in the 81st minute. This result leaves Brentford still 5 points off West Brom and Wigan on 50 points in 16th. However, they would be 2 points adrift at the bottom of the table if this 12-point deduction come in. Just hoping Wigan would get away out of this awful situation. At Bristol City, it finished Bristol 0, Cardiff 1 in what was the final game for Lee Johnson after his 4-year tenure at Ashton Gate. Danny Ward scored the only goal in the 85th minute to leave Cardiff still in 6th, 3 points ahead of Derby. Bristol City down to 12th and 9 points off the playoffs. So that's playoff hopes over and Lee Johnson's tenure, Bristol City over, which I was quite surprised about really, because I know they've been on a dodgy run, but overall he's done a great job there. Craven Cottage, it was a quiet game between Fulham and Birmingham. Lee Camp making a number of great saves until he couldn't do it anymore, and in the 95th minute, Josh Onoma sealed a crucial win for Fulham as they move to 4th with West Brom being 7 points ahead of them and Derby being 9 points behind them, and Birmingham City stay 17th, 5 points above the relegation zone, so they should be fine. But wow, what a finish. And at Huddersfield, it finished 0-0 in an uneventful game between two uneventful teams. Preston 10th, 6 points off the playoffs, so that's very unlikely. Huddersfield 2 points above the relegation zone. And, well, they're still in big danger, and they'll probably be the most disappointed team coming out of this. Now, after Luton got a point at Ellen Road this week, and Reading lost 3-0 at home to Brentford, who would have predicted this? Not me. Yaku Mate with 4 goals, and George Puskas with another, as Reading won 5-0 at Kenilworth Road. This sees them out of any relegation worries after a poor restart and up to 14th. Luton's still at the foot of the Championship and now 5 points clear. Looks a big job for them. And another drubbing for a team at the bottom of the table. Stoke 4, Barnsley 0. Sam Vokes in the 8th minute, Tyrese Campbell in the 10th and 38th minute, and Tommins rounding it off in the 87th minute sealed a comfortable win for Stoke over Barnsley. This leaves Stoke in 18th, 2 points above the relegation zone, and Barnsley 4 points off the drift. So this is a huge win for Stoke. The first game in Sunday was Swansea 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Rhian Brewster put Swansea ahead in the 52nd minute before Andre Ayew doubled the lead from the penalty spot, before Sheffield Wednesday pulled back, won back in the 94th minute, but obviously didn't have time for another goal. This moves Swansea into 8th on 60 points, 4 points off the playoffs, and Sheffield Wednesday in no man's land in mid-table. Now, I've been thinking this morning, is it inconceivable for a Neil Warnock team to get relegated? Middlesbrough lost 1-0 at home to QPR for a Jordan Hugill goal. These leaves Middlesbrough in the relegation zone by a point from Hull, and QPR in 13th in the table, but surely it can't happen. Middlesbrough, however, are in huge trouble. And the final game of the weekend, West Brom 4, Hull 2. Charlie Austin put West Brom ahead early on before Kevin Stewart pulled one back in the 24th minute. Hegazi, 37th minute, put West Brom ahead again before Malik Wilks pulled another back in the 48th minute. Then former Hull man Kamil Grzycki scored a minute later, and Diane Garner in the 76th minute sealed it off, with Hegazi being sent off in the 91st minute. Hull just 1 point above the relegation zone, however their form does look to be slightly improving, and West Brom still 5 clear of Brentford. But anyway guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you thought about the weekend's action in the comments down below. Follow us on Twitter for daily football news, and subscribe to my other channels on the screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.